I gotta slow down, stop for a second, take a look around, and I gotta take time to hear that little voice inside saying I came to give you life, so spread your wings and fly.
Hey guys, it's me, Lanee. Thanks for joining me for another Thoughts of She video. Happy New Year to all of my bold beauties. I hope that you enjoyed your holiday. So the new year has begun, and this is the perfect time to take a look at all the bad habits or the things that we would like to change about ourselves that we may have done in 2015 and change them going forward in this new year. So no different for me. I'm taking a look at all of the things that I have done, reflecting, so that I can identify the bad habits. And once I've done that, though, to actually get rid of it, I understand that I need to know where it came from. What was the origin or the seed that this habit sprouted from? Because if you don't know where it came from, then it's hard to actually get rid of it. And so that brings me to the title of this video, which is Checking Your Roots. Check them out. And not your hair roots, but I'm talking about the root of the habit that you're trying to get rid of. So if you think about a plant, this analogy came to mind. If you cut off a leaf, or you even cut off the stem of the plant, if the roots are still in the ground, 9 times out of 10, that plant will sprout up again. And so it's no different with the bad habits in our life. If we don't get to the roots and uproot them, then they'll more than likely show up again in our lives after we have cut it off. We thought it was gone, but it came back because the root was still there. And so I've been hearing a lot of stories about people who have experienced things in their childhood that have pretty much planted poisonous seeds, weeds, and they've grown in their lives and pretty much almost destroyed them. And so for me, understanding that root is critical, because it is important to make sure that your garden is healthy. And so taking a look at some examples of what this may look like. For some people, when they get upset or they're hurt, their insecurities, whatever feeling of discomfort that comes along, they tend to try to find comfort in maybe food. So they always eat when they're depressed or when they're stressed. Or maybe it's alcohol. Maybe instead of alcohol, it could be, even keeping it real, sex. Some people look for comfort and validation in being physical with someone else. But all of these things have a root of where they came from. Maybe the person who drinks saw a family member. This is how they dealt with the pressures of life. Or someone introduced it to them when they were young, and no one was close enough to them to uproot that seed and tell them, no, this is the way that you deal with stress. So when you identify it, now you have the power to change it. But it does not make that journey easy by any means. So to give you an example of my own challenges with that, I can remember previously, a couple years back, when God showed me something about myself. And I always bounce it off God, because people will have their own thoughts, their own opinions, and even with the best of intentions, it may still be driven by their own personal experience, not necessarily what God is telling you to do. So he showed me something about myself, pretty much that I had a tendency to overtalk other people or cut them off. And in reflecting and finding the root, I came to realize that it was tied into my need to be understood. And so at some point, I really felt misunderstood. And so now I was going to an extreme. So whenever I spoke with someone and they were saying something that gave the impression that they didn't understand what I was really trying to say, I would jump in because maybe I need to give them more information. They need to know, I need to finish my thought because no, that's not right. This is what it is. But in doing that, I was trying to be understood, but I wasn't listening to them. I wasn't hearing them out. And when you have two people just trying to be understood and no one trying to understand, then the communication is broken. It's not effective. And so once I saw that for what it was, now I started trying to be aware of when I was doing it. So I may be in a conversation, they would say something and boom, I could feel it. It was like a tingling on the inside. I could feel it rising up, me wanting to say it, and I would just intentionally not. I would be intentional in holding my tongue, and I would let them finish. And what I found that usually 9 times out of 10, they did understand me. That once I let them finish their thoughts, they were just explaining it in a different way. And even if they didn't, now I respected them and let them finish their thought, and then I shared mine. So our relationship was healthier. Our communication was healthier. So for you guys, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a process. The same way the bad habit took time to be developed, the new habit is going to take time to be developed as well. But if you're intentional and you are determined, just like transforming your body in the gym, you got to be determined to go in, and even though it's hard at first, be consistent and be aware of it. Eventually it gets easier, and now this new habit is formed, and now you're moving forward in this area. So as we move forward into this new year, I challenge you to continue to look at the roots, find out where it came from, and then be determined to move forward with it. For me, a lot of my help came with letting God help me. I would ask God to help me. God, I want to change this, but I need your help. And the help usually came in the form of people that He would send into my life who maybe were walking a similar path or had experienced this before, or sent me to something or someone that was exactly what I needed to help me get over this hurdle. And that's what you're going to need too. You're going to need supportive people who want to see you move forward in this area in your life to help you when you fall. Because as I mentioned in my video before, forgive me. You're going to make mistakes. It's a process. And you can't beat yourself up when you fall down. You have to pick yourself up, look at it as an opportunity to learn from that mistake, and push forward into the new year, into the new you. And I will continue to share videos that will hopefully help you on this journey. If you have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, you can always feel free to email me, message me, comments, because I want to help you move forward. So again, hope this video helps you jumpstart this new journey, and I will talk to you later. Bye.